making progress. Right, now I'm going to live stream this. It just takes a minute. Share to your group. Share to the Tropic Rocket.
I need to start live streaming mine as well.
It's handy, but it didn't work for a while, and then it did. It was very strange. I think I had too many recordings in my thing, and once I deleted a load of recordings, then it seemed to work. Right, got it. It's saying got it. Tyler will start whinging at the door in a minute. He's actually asleep, so it's all right. So, hello, Sarah. Welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, hello.
So we are streaming onto Tropic Rockets. Hello, Tropic Rockets. Now, I can't see your questions, actually. What I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on my phone so I can see if any questions come up. Good morning, Rebecca is saying. Kerry's saying good morning. Oh, so we have got people there. That's good. So it'll be a bit of a lag, but if you want to ask questions, I'll look at my phone every now and again, because I can't have the live stream on here whilst I'm talking to you, because it has a lag and it's really weird. So yeah, it's kind of like I have to look at both things at once. So Sarah, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. I've been meaning to get you on for ages, and then actually lovely Kerry, who is watching, was asking some questions, and I thought, oh, Sarah's the good person for that, and it kind of prompted me to go, right, let's get on and let's actually see if Sarah come on. So for those of you that don't know Sarah, this is Sarah Baxter. She is one of my lovely friends who I know from trips we've been on together. Sarah, is it just Bali or is it Ibiza? Dubai, sorry, Bali's coming up. I've got Bali on the brain. Dubai. Did you come to Ibiza as
well? No.
Just Dubai. So Dubai is where I made friends with Sarah.
I mean, just Dubai. That was incredible anyway, wasn't it? So yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. And Sarah was a VIP on that trip because Sarah is one of the top sellers in the entire company. Sarah, without, I know you don't like to blow your own trumpet, but on average, what's your monthly sales on average, would you say?
About £5 grand.
About 5
I aim for 6.
Aim for 6. Oh my God, I love that. She aims for 6. So I think I'm pretty high seller. If I get 4 grand, I'm chuffed. 5's the best I've had in my whole life. Sarah aims for 6 every month.
Sorry, I'm just getting my camera right.
So, so she has got probably a lot of tips and tricks up her sleeve that she can share with people. And Sarah's a leader herself, and I've said that I will go on and I will share leadery stuff with her team if she wants me to. So it's really nice actually when you've got other friends in the business that have got different strengths that we can kind of all share with one another. So Sarah, have you got some top tips? So Sarah is a therapist, okay, as well. And do you have a salon at home, Sarah, or how does that work?
I do. I've got a treatment studio in my garden, which is literally Tropic through and through. I don't use anything other than Tropic. I am a real snob to it. And it is so obvious that I do Tropic. So, customers come or clients come and they know that is the solid brand I am properly passionate about. And I think when you are truly passionate about one particular brand, that's exactly how it works well, because I've got, friends that do Tropic alongside another brand and it gets diluted, and then they get they can't cross promote because they don't work well together, and it gets quite confusing for clients. So
right, okay, so so you believe that as a therapist, the fact you're sticking to one brand really does help you. Okay. And so what sort of treatments do you do, Sarah?
So I do facials. Facials is my biggest, my most popular treatment, and I do reflexology as well. So I used to do massage. I kind of take you back a bit. I joined in lockdown in 2020 in June, and obviously I couldn't do treatments. So I put all of my time and effort into doing workshops online. Like I tried Instagram, but for me, it's just not I just can't get along with Instagram. So Facebook's my thing. And so I started giving value back on there, and I built my kind of customer base in that way. And I continue to kind of do that sort of thing, but obviously now in person as well. And I used to do massage, but I just got to the fact that Tropic actually was making me more money than my treatments.
Right.
So I got to a lovely stage where I thought I can actually cut back on massage. I didn't really enjoy it. It takes its toll on your body.
Yeah.
And when Susie says, like, can you imagine doing your job until like you're 60 odd? I absolutely could not doing massage. And of course, if you're thinking about massage, it's quite difficult to try and get a lot of facial sales from that particular treatment.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but it's not the easiest. So facials is where I really put all of my time and effort in, because I know I can make a big difference to a client's skin. It's an easy transition then to the sales side of things as well. And the makeup falls perfectly alongside that too.
Yes, yeah, because of course, if you help someone get good skin, then that's the perfect base for the makeup, isn't it? Where I've done a lot of makeup in my time, because I did a makeup artistry course a few years ago, and then I really wanted to just carry on practicing. So I practiced on a lot of customers. The people that came for me to do practice on, that were already my Tropic customers and had beautiful skin, they were so much easier to put the makeup on than someone that doesn't have a skincare routine at all. You kind of get a bit of a shock putting makeup on someone that's got no skincare routine, because their skin is so dry.
I know, it just sucks everything in, doesn't it? And the finish is never going to be the best, but do your best.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for anyone that struggles with putting makeup on, sort your skin out, skincare routine first. Absolutely. So
I mean, this time of the year actually is the best time of year. If you know anyone that's getting married, for instance, ideally get them to have, even if you're not a therapist, get them to have a few mini facials with you, just a skincare consultation and just an application of product, and try your very hardest to either get them to buy an ABC or even a skin discovery kit. Because you need their makeup, whether they're having their makeup done with you or not, you need their skin to look and feel incredible. Otherwise it's going to really let them down on photos, isn't it?
Absolutely. Actually, on that point, Sarah, have you ever done wedding fairs? One of the team was asking about wedding fairs the other day, and I know they're quite expensive, so I've never really gone into that. But to be fair, you could find brides that want better skin, I suppose. Have you ever done that?
Absolutely. I've done it in the past. I don't actually do stalls now, because they're usually at the weekend. And I try to be really strict with myself, and I have weekends off to spend with the boys. Obviously place orders and message customers back and what have you, but in terms of standing at a stall all day, I always try to like break down my time versus revenue, or what I'm actually getting back, because at a stall for me, I don't actually sell a lot of product, but what I do as a stall, which might be quite good as a wedding fair, is I those free facial vouchers that we've got, I literally distribute them like confetti, because I think if you were to give like 20 of those out, I'm not saying you're going to get every single person come back. And sometimes when I'm at something like that, I'll actually get them to book in my diary there and then, and get their mobile number and everything,
now,
so that I know.
That's a great idea, getting them to book in, because at the Christmas stalls that I did and at various events I do, I do give out those free vouchers willy-nilly, but I don't often get them booked in there and then. Why? I don't know. It's generally a follow-up, they call me or whatever. But actually, if you get them booked in there and then, it's much better. Why have I not done that before? I don't know. See, even Diamond Dale's learning some stuff, girls.
Diamond Dale. So I did a makeup.
Tease me and call me Diamond Dale, the leaders.
Oh, I love that. I want a little nickname. That's what we want.
Sarah.
I did a makeup masterclass last week. It was like properly out of my comfort zone, and it was for 70 ladies, with a mic. I don't do mics, but there we are. And
sorry, I was trying to look at the comments, and I've turned us on this by accident, and I'm trying to turn us off. Sorry, darling. Trying to just look at the comments, but I haven't achieved that very well. Right, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop looking at the comments now.
Fine.
Right, makeup masterclass.
Yeah, I did a makeup masterclass last week for 70 ladies, and like I say, I had all of these little vouchers to give out, but in return for the voucher, I asked for their name and phone number because, like I say, they have all good intentions of messaging you, but they never do, and that voucher goes missing. So actually, on Monday, I rang 10 of them, and I've got 5 of them booked in so far. So, and that's people who would never ever have normally come to me. You're right.
A penny has just dropped for me. I did that WI talk, which went so well, and loads of them went away like with vouchers, all excited, and a couple of them have booked in. But actually, why did I not do that? See? Oh, yeah. Little things like that, ladies. Little things like that. Yes, I should have done, shouldn't I? Yeah.
But yeah, you ideally want to do that. I mean, previous things I've seen people do, like you know, be entered into a prize draw type of thing if you leave your details type of thing, but data capture. But I think if you're physically giving them something to take away with them, it's nice. But you can get those like vouchers, they're cheap, can't you, on the Tropic market?
Or they're beautiful, they're really nice as well. And I mean, I do these sort of things when I have stalls and events with ticky boxes of the things people are interested in. But when I'm willy-nilly giving out vouchers, no, I haven't actually taken their number down and written down they've got a voucher, call them to see if they want to use it. No, I haven't. That's genius. And that gets you all your bookings, because I know you do. You don't do you try not to do stuff at the weekend, and you do mainly one-to-ones, don't you, and your classes?
Yeah, so I generally work Monday to Friday during school hours, and then I team up with a lot of different kind of local businesses. And I think the key thing really is to get your name out in the sort of area. So it's quite embarrassing, but like everybody seems to know Sarah Baxter where I live. I'll get people tapping me on the shoulder in like Sainsbury's saying, "Oh, are you that girl that does Tropic?" I'll be like, "Oh my gosh," and my husband will be like, "Again." But yeah, what it is I team up with businesses that you probably wouldn't normally expect. So I've got a garden centre that's local, and they've got these chalets that they work from in the Christmas period, you know, for Santa and that. But the rest of the year they weren't really using them. So I took it upon myself and I went along and I was like, "Do you use these sort of rooms the rest of the year?" And they were like, "No, we're not usually." They said we might consider doing some sort of activities in them. And I said, "Well, have you ever thought about doing a wellness workshop in there?" And they hadn't. So it was my kind of idea. And now I'm there every month and I do a different theme.
Amazing.
And I've got ladies there that would never normally know who I was or what I do.
Yeah.
And they're a slightly more mature kind of lady. So they've got time freedom. And they are very keen on, you know, taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
And I do different kind of themes. And all I do for my themes is I go on the Tropic website and I go down to blog. I don't know if anyone's ever been onto that blog, and it is amazing. And basically, Tropic have given you all of the help that you could possibly need. So they've got things on there about menopause, winter skin, spring into spring, you know, like everything you could ever need. And all I do is go on there, write down a few notes. I love a notebook. I'm a proper paper girl. And then they've put a few products on there, so I'll like bulk it out with some other bits and pieces and loads of top tips I can share and massage techniques that Susie teaches us. And I then go along and these ladies are booked on and I give them value. I think if you can teach something to somebody that's brand new, you know, every day's a school day, isn't it? Like we always need to be learning something. They come away and they're like, "Oh my God, I never knew that. Well, thank you so much." And I get orders from it every time I go as well. And just a lovely way round. And then I get
how long are those workshops?
They usually book out an hour. I like to have like a 90-minute slot. So I do an hour of like chatting, you know me, I like to talk. And then half an hour at the end is asking questions, booking them for a one-to-one, writing down their orders or whatever.
Brilliant. Yeah. And is that midweek that you do that? So you're not doing that at the weekend?
No, it's usually on a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Which again, those ladies don't work. They're usually retired.
Yeah.
And And then I've also teamed up at times with like a yoga class, a yoga
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
The girl I've teamed up with has actually now joined my team, which is quite nice.
Haha,
But
love it.
her like launch event actually was at a yoga studio, and we were sat like on the yoga mat type of thing at the front, and everyone else was on their mats. And we went round with just smoothing cleanser, a damp bamboo cloth, spritz the morning mist, and we just talked about the benefits of the products and how they could incorporate in them and into their daily life. Spritzing like pillow mist and things on the mats, and that worked really well too. So there's like so many different ways that you can link with other businesses. There's even a line dance, not a line dancing, I don't know what dancing they call it. Anyway, some sort of dancing group, one of my clients, and she wants me to go along on her Thursday evening class and talk about like the walk on the beach collection and morning mist when they're getting hot and bothered and stuff. So just thinking outside the box a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, great idea. And have you got any other examples of businesses that you've collaborated with?
I do a lot of wellness in the workplace.
Yeah.
I make out that I charge for it, but I don't. So I make out that for the first like month of March, if they book in, it'll be a totally free service.
Yeah.
I never actually charge, but yeah, it's nice for them to think, oh my gosh, there's a little bit of urgency here. I need to get booked with her.
Yeah.
And I've done it for loads of different companies. I've done it for a construction company, which you'd never know. You'd never expect men to, even engage in it, but it was half workmen on the construction-y guys. It was a demolition company, and then half were like the office workers. But I did a stress management and sleep therapy workshop for them, just giving them top tips. And it's World Sleep Day on the 15th of March, so I'm doing loads of these this month. And then I was invited back, and then I did just hand and arm exfoliations and massages.
Yeah.
And literally they all just switched off, and the sales weren't huge.
Yeah.
But since I've had guys messaging me to buy for their wives and booking treatment.
Nice.
It's like
did you when you did that, did you book in? Because what I've done for wellness in the workplace is I've booked in kind of like 10-minute slots, 10-15 minute slots for people, and I've done the exfoliation, and then I've done them a little hand massage, and I have done if they haven't got nail varnish on, I've done like buff and shape a little bit, and then put on some nail nectar. Is that the sort of thing you do, or do you get them all doing it together as a workshop?
I've done both. So wellness in the workshop is usually like a 15-minute slot per person, so that they get a little bit of time out.
Yeah.
It's usually in like a meeting room or something. I make it smell gorgeous.
What I've done. Yeah.
The minute they walk in, they're like, oh my God, it smells amazing in here. If you've got Glow magazines, that's brilliant. But if not, you've got like that ticky sheet, haven't you, with all the products? Can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I say to them, they can either have a mini facial or a hand and arm treatment. And it's usually like a bit of a mix.
Yeah.
When I say a mini facial, it's like a cleanse, a tone, bit of eye work, serum and moisturize SPF. It's nothing elaborate.
Yeah.
But you do always get sales.
You don't put oil on for your mini facial.
I mix the either super greens or elixir with the moisturizer.
Yeah.
Just a couple of drops. Yeah. And that works well. And it's funny actually, because you usually get more men wanting the mini facial than you do women.
Interesting. Yeah, because of taking the makeup off, probably. Yeah, I went in. I did a few in schools actually, and I had it's the first ever time, apart from my husband, that I'd done a facial on a man. And I had this man come with a beard, and I was so scared. I was like, oh, what am I going to do here? And it was like, I'm totally out of my comfort zone. So I just sort of did his cheeks and up here, and like just avoid. I said, I'm just going to avoid your beard because I don't want to get products stuck in it. So,
there's not really a lot you can do when it's a big bushy beard, is there?
No. So that was a bit tricky, but I did have a few minutes. So I've done it at schools before as well, for like teachers after school, that sort of thing as well. And of course, I find that a little bit more tricky, because if I'm doing an after school session, I've got to get someone else to pick up my own kids, and actually the whole point of flexibly working is that I'm doing the school runs. So I am like, Dad, could you possibly not do a call that day? Sometimes that you know, he's very supportive of Tropic, actually, my husband. He couldn't not be, could he?
Yeah.
Not how much I'm doing it.
No.
But it's a bit more of a hassle. So actually, I do really like getting into workplaces as well. It's really good. Now, how do you find those workplaces? That's what I often get asked. How do you find them? How do you do it? Do you literally just like look up companies in your area and pick up the phone and call them? Do you email in?
So far, I haven't had to, because I've just popped on my personal page, like I do wellness in the workplace, tag a company or what have you. And the fact that I say that it's free this month,
Yeah.
so there's like friends of friends or whatever have just tagged a company. But
Yeah.
I think it will get to the stage maybe, just because it is it's like a guaranteed event, really, isn't it? You're going to get something back from it.
Yeah.
So the one I did recently was at like a biomedical company, and that I've had so much back from there. Like, I was working out the other day, I must have had like £600 of orders already just from that one company, and it was 2 weeks ago, and like 3 facial bookings, and then they've got a get together booked in, and it's like what you can actually gain from just that one thing that you never actually had in your diary originally. So I aim to do like 2 activities a week. Like, that's my minimum if I was going to do anything.
Going out from your, I once going to call it shed. Your posh shed in your garden.
Venturing out into the world. Yeah.
I can't think of the name for a posh shed.
I just call it a studio. It's easy. I don't know.
Studio. That's the word I'm looking for. That's much nicer.
Yeah. So like my 2 activities would be, like I say, a wellness in the workplace, a workshop at the garden centre, or a WI meeting, or you know, a masterclass like I did the other day. Masterclass, wherever you're from. I'm a Lancashire lass, so it's not going to be a master. Yeah, just something where you're physically going out there and meeting people. And I think you said it, Claire, you try and aim to meet 10 new people a month. I do the same sort of thing, because I think unless you're stretching yourself, and if it gets to like near the end of the month and I've only met, say, 7, I'm like, right, this isn't good enough. I need to try and find another 3.
And then
it's usually like
10 new a month as well, or do you do more than that?
I probably meet way more than that, to be fair.
Your minimum,
because
10.
Minimum 10, because I think, like, unless you're getting new fresh blood to talk to, yes, you can talk about Tropic to your existing ladies, but once they've got their a la carte, they're sort of set for the next 3 months. And yes, they might buy bits and bobs in between. But I always say to customers, like, you know, who do you know? Could you recommend anyone to me? I ask my customers as well, would you be a hostess for me? And you know, try and get word out there, a bit like that.
Do you do many pampers? I know you do lots of one-to-ones and lots of sort of sessions. Do you do lots of evening pampers in the evening as well?
Just on a Friday night, I do a pamper. So I either do that at their house, or they come here with their friends. But yeah, and again, I've got themes that I do per month. A really popular one is like how to look good naked. I think that was one that Lee suggested at some point. And everybody wants to look good, don't they? And most people are knackered because they're not sleeping, or they've got a small child, or they're working shifts. So I try to theme things quite well. Like if there's a national day, like World Sleep Day, I'll do like ready for beddy type of pampers and stuff like that. But the majority are skincare related. I just tweak it slightly to make it sound.
Look good naked. What do you do for how to look good naked?
So I give them top tips on things they could use the night before and the morning of. So things the night before would be, you know, fruit peel to like recharge their skin while they sleep, or sun drops every 3rd night just to give them a bit of a glow. Incorporating those facial massage and exercises that Susie's got on the lounge. And then the following morning, you know, like your spritzes, your eye work, glowberry,
hydrogel eye mask.
Oh my God, those hydrogel face masks. I mean, they are just dreamy. Aren't they just amazing? I love those. So anything really that's a quick fix. I'm aware that a lot of people, if they haven't got much time, and I give them these little top tips, and like, that's genius. Or you know, just lip stain on the lips and cheeks, for instance. And
Just quick.
walk out the door,
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I think just being consistent really with it all. If you say you're going to be showing up somewhere, you're there, and the more activity you can do, like in your local area, like I say, people will get to know like your name, and they'll be excited to come to your events, and they'll be like, oh, she's there again, or it's word of mouth. I've got loads of customers that have recommended me to someone, and then I get random messages saying, oh, such and such messaged me to say I should get in contact with you. I do a recommend a friend sort of scheme as well. So if they recommend somebody to me and they spend £40 with me on their first order, I just give the person that recommended like a little lip love to say thank you. And they love that. So,
token.
Just something to kind of, encourage them a little bit. Works nicely.
What's the other thing I was going to say?
If they're obviously in treatments as well, it's always thinking about cross promoting.
Yes.
I know a lot of therapists do like beauty side of things. I'm more holistic. I am beauty trained, but if you do like manicures, I absolutely think about it that your client is going to be sat opposite you for like 30 minutes. So whatever is behind you needs to be a damn good display, and it needs to be changed frequently. So if I was doing nails, for instance, like behind me, what have I got here at the moment? I've got like my Mother's Day bits and bobs, and I've got my makeup bits over there. So I would have like a themed display, possibly changing it like every week. Just simply. But like we've got so many gifts all year round. Like we've got Walk on the Beach, we've got Perfect Touch, Discovery Kits. So utilising those, because they're quite a low price point for people as well, and they look gorgeous. Every single person at some point during that month has got a birthday or an anniversary coming up or something, and it might just trigger them. Or you could do, I'm trying to think, like a recycling month
as well. Do you have the prices on those too?
I don't, but you could do. Yeah, absolutely. And then you could like tweak your manicure slightly. So you could add in a free body smooth exfoliation on their hand as like a little treat. Always using like the nail nectar and the superfood hand therapy. And talking about like home care, because so many people, they actually do want home care. Like I learned this when I worked for Clarins years ago. You're doing them an injustice if you're not actually offering them something to take home to, maintain the benefits of their facial or their treatment. They can't just be coming for a facial and expecting miraculous results. By one treatment. They've got to go home then and be consistent with it. And customers actually really want that now. Like I've learned that myself. So
if you're someone doing nails, why are you using a different brand of hand cream at the end of that nail treatment? If you want to sell Tropic, use Tropic. Use something Tropic on their hands. Use the Tropic nail nectar. It's it depends how much you want to sell Tropic and you want to earn some money from that, right? And like you were saying before, as a therapist, like especially with massage or something, or being a hairdresser, that is hard on your back, isn't it? Do you still want to be a hairdresser when you're 60? Do you still want to be massaging people when you're 60? Probably not, but if you've built a passive, an income with Tropic where you've got repeat order business, you've got people like Jen, lovely Jen, who's a grandma now. She can go off to the LA for 3 weeks to see her kids and still run her Tropic business. Do you know what I mean? And there's this like, if you can build up something that gives you that extra stream of income as well, when you do want to slow down with treatments or anything like that that's tougher on your body, you can be like sort of having that alongside as well. Up. One thing I would say, Lee, was we were talking about therapists in particular, weren't we, as well? Lee's sister, when Lee joined, Lee was, when Lee's sister joined, Lee was saying that she would book out a period of time for every client to say, I'm doing Tropic now. Would you like a free facial? Before they've had their hair done or after they've had their hair done, or you could, even if they don't want a facial, get the hand scrub on them, get the products on people, as many products on people as you can. I think it's genius. Someone's sat with the colour on their hair, why are they not having a little
Yeah.
hand treatment at the same time? You know, like
I used
make,
to do that when I was at college.
yeah, did
That was
you?
my first ever job, doing like little hand massages while people were having their hair colour
Ah,
developing.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that is genius, because you're going to get
Hmm.
every single person smelling that body smooth and thinking, oh, that's lovely. You know, you can tell them how lovely it is. You can tell them a bit of the Susie story. It's just, I just think it's a no-brainer if you've got someone sat there with a colour on.
Absolutely. Otherwise, they're just scrolling on Facebook, aren't they, doing nothing?
So when you've got so you generally do massages and facials, and you use all Tropic within your facials. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, do you have a little session where you say, so this is what I've used on you today? And
Yeah,
you
I'll make them like a nice little cup of herbal tea and let them obviously come round, give them a mirror to show them their skin. If we've got glow magazines, I'll obviously write it in the glow magazine. If not, I use those little ticky sheets, like I say, on the lounge. I really can't think what they're called. And I'll just say to the customer, I'll say, oh, would you like me to jot down everything I've used today? Not a single person ever says no.
yeah.
And
Literally
then
circle it in the glow, or do you write it on the wish list?
I usually circle it or fold a page over or what have you.
Yeah,
I used to like those like mini essentials guides because they were quite handy because you didn't feel like you
yeah,
were giving them a massive book, but I
yeah.
think they've been discontinued. But
Mm,
yeah, those little ticky sheets are equally as good.
mm,
Um, and if you're feeling a bit nervous, you could even say, like, do you have a budget at the moment that you currently spend on your products? But
mm,
obviously, all comes down to like a good consultation at the beginning as well,
mm.
like really digging deep. Don't just take it face value that they use a cleanser. Like ask what brand it is or what sort of texture it is, and kind of really be a bit nosy. They won't mind, but then you'll be given all of your answers. You'll know kind of roughly what her current skincare regime would cost.
Yeah,
And then breaking it down per day, you know, with the ABC or the a la carte. I always say like the serums are going to supercharge their skin, so it's always a better option to get, but whatever they can start with.
mm,
Yeah, and always just offering them the opportunity to be able to purchase from you. So I place my orders on a Sunday night. 9 o'clock is cut off time for
me
people
too.
to place. And literally customers now, and because I've been consistent with that from day dot, they know that if they send me their order, it'll be absolutely, go through. I mean, there is no cut off time, but I like to make them feel like there is. Um, and yeah, so I always say to them, like, there's no pressure. I said I place orders like every Sunday evening by 9 o'clock. But they always say, oh, actually, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. And I use the happiness guarantee to say,
Mm.
there's no pressure. Like if it doesn't work for you for any reason. But out of the whole 4 years nearly I've done Tropic, I've never actually had to refund a customer. It's only been an exchange. So I always say that as well because it's
Yeah.
comforting for them.
Mm.
Another thing, if they're buying like an a la carte or a makeup palette, for instance, I'll always offer to send them a video of how to use it.
That's
And they
nice.
love that.
That's a really nice
Takes me 2 minutes. I always personalize it and talk to them, and I say, "Oh, hi,
So
such
you
and
don't have a
such."
standard one, right? That's interesting, right?
No, and like I say, I think like for the whole 2 minutes it's going to take me, and there's not many people that need it now because they're all existing anyway. But it does absolutely work.
You don't actually do it on your face. Oh, you
I
do?
do.
2 minutes?
Well, it's probably not 2 minutes. It's probably not 2 minutes. But it's like 30 seconds. But you know me, I can't stop
Yeah.
talking. But I say to them, like, if you watch that a few times, because if they're totally new to a skincare brand,
Yeah.
I remember it well from back in the day when I was on counters. Like customers will take home a hell of a lot of products and then they just sit in the drawer because they've no idea how to use them. So yeah, I do offer it as a little service and they love it. And I think that's why I get so many loyal clients, customers, and new ones as well, because they send them my way because they know they get extra.
You've gone above and beyond, haven't you?
It doesn't really, I don't feel like I'm going above and beyond, but yeah,
No,
customer service is key.
but you actually have by doing that. I have never, ever done a video for anyone. You have gone above and beyond. I've done videos that I have on my YouTube channel where people could go and have a look at, and lots of videos on my Facebook group and all of that, but I've not done a personalized video. I do send everyone that gets a youth potion. I do send all of them instructions because I think that's really important, because there are
Yeah.
do's and don'ts with that. I've got that written out. I know Jenny Allen usually sends every new customer the fact sheets about those products, but actually a video of just actually how to do it. I often write it down for them. I often write down the order for them, but a little video is actually yeah, it's a nice touch, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think, like I say, I would like to know how to use something correctly if I was buying some
Yeah,
products. So
yeah. I tell you
I
what I did
offer it.
do. I tell you what I did do, which was kind of like my version of above and beyond, I suppose, is I had a lady from the WI the other day who did a really big order with me after I did a facial for her. And I just had a feeling she was going to get confused. So I used my Nimbot, and I actually printed out, use this one first, use this one
Oh,
second, use this one third, and I stuck it on all of her products for her. And then
oh,
said, I'm not going to get this delivered straight to you. I'm going to come back with them all, and I'm going to talk you through them. So as well as having it all stuck on for her, I also had it written out, and I also talked her through which one to use because I felt she needed that.
yeah. Sometimes I do that. I'll have customer orders delivered here, and then I'll personally go and deliver them, and we'll have a little coffee chat, and I'll explain how to do them for her. I've got a lady today coming because she wants to learn how to do the facial massage.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, Lucas is off poorly. It's fine. He can be chilling out, can't he? But and they're perfectly fine. But I thought I could teach her how to do the facial massage. And she was like, but I need to place my order as well. So can I do that with you at the same time? And I'm like, you know what? The time it's going to take, 45 minutes? That's absolutely fine. And I always think like the return on investment of my time
Yeah.
will be huge.
Absolutely.
You know, it'll be extra commission for me, or she'll probably say to me that she knows such and such a friend or whatever, and I'll ask her if she knows anyone else that I can help. So yeah.
Was that who do you know question, isn't it? And Jill Eagle's a big one for that. Who do you know? Who else do you know? And making sure you're always using that. And that's why it's called network marketing, guys. It's using your network and using your network properly. And the one thing I will say is, as quickly as you can, especially if you're new watching this, or if you feel like you've come up to a point where you're going, oh, I've run out of customers, I've run out of customers. You've got to find the new customers, and asking that question, who do you know, to the people that you already do know is how that's going to help you.
Yeah, and like I say, thinking about all the businesses that you've got locally to you as well, like,
Yeah.
you know, who would turn you down going into a business and offering to do some mini treatments? Sometimes I'll even say to them, I've only got 2 hours available, to make it sound like I am really like in demand, which I have got a very busy life, to be fair. It's not even a joke. And then in that 2 hours, potentially I could fit 8 people in, having mini treatments. It runs over 2 hours. It's not an issue, but yeah, because it's during school hours and obviously all of that as well. And I do treatments. But yeah, they love it. So you don't have to be there all day. You don't need to worry about taking up tons and tons of your time. If you've just got little pockets of time during the week, you could just map out a little bit, and just, like I say, just target yourself a little bit. I'm not saying go cold calling as such, but you could do if you wanted to. Or simply just go to the desk at like a HR company or whatever, and just give them like a Glow magazine if you've got one, and just say, oh, I do wellness in the workplace. Is there somebody I could chat to? And try and chat to the person that's actually involved in booking that.
Putting your big hats on and just turning up. Absolutely.
Just throw me a picture.
Oh, bless him. Well done, Lucas.
Just keep calling out when I'm laughing. But yeah, so, and customers like to know your journey a little bit as well. So like the fact I'm going to head office this week, they are so super excited. So I've found that if I share stuff on my personal page more, I actually get more response. At one stage, I was always dead scared about sharing much Tropic on my personal page, because I thought people would just get bored and they don't want to know. Actually, they really do want to know. And then I get lovely messages saying, oh my gosh, it looks like you've had the best time. And then that's where I get a lot of my new girls in my team from as well, because they see all the fun I'm having and they'll say, oh my gosh, I would love to know a bit more about. So don't be afraid to share key highlights on your personal page.
Yeah, absolutely. Share the fun, and yeah, that's when people
the friendships you make, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, absolutely make it clear that you do Tropic. Like maybe in your bio as well on your Facebook page, mention something there about Tropic or have your shop link. And if you're thinking of doing like little posts and stuff in your group or whatever, I think this was something that one of the other girls mentioned a few years back, and it stuck with me, is don't be afraid to recycle your posts that you did
I do that
a year or two ago. Because let's face it, we haven't got like an endless, well, we do have an endless amount of things we could talk about, but just make your life easy. Recycle things from a year ago and customers won't be any the wiser.
No, they absolutely
just make it seem fresh and exciting.
Yeah,
and then use the Penny app. So even when Amy app went and Penny was coming, in the meantime, I write down all my orders, of course, in an order book. I am paper. I label those order books with the month. And I am trying to get to grips with Penny, I must admit. I'm a bit slow on it.
I picked that up from you when I was floundering when we lost Penny. And I was like, Sarah, how do you do it?
Was this in Dubai?
And you told me that you had an order book for every month. And that is what I did do religiously. And it did really help me, actually. And you know what? Since Penny came along, I dropped doing the order book. But actually, because I've got them on Penny now. But in some senses, also, I might bring back just having a monthly notepad anyway, because what it also did for me is I would also write down in there people I had met that month. And if I had done that a little bit better, then I wouldn't have lost, I've been a bit rubbish with following up with the food people that hadn't actually done an order. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really key.
You could write down in that notebook, like businesses that you've approached. If you wanted to work out revenue and stuff, you could work out how much money you've made from each event or whatever. I don't go that much into detail, but yeah, so it's just nice. I just like to have an order book per month, like I say, or a notepad of some description. And I still do use that, and I do need to get into the Penny thing, because the Penny one would make life easy. But
Penny's amazing.
Yeah,
really good.
I'm getting there. I am getting there.
Well, I expect someone with your sales, you've got a lot of backlog as well, because when I first went on to Penny, because of being a high retailer as well, not quite so high as you, but I felt
very good, Claire.
I felt like I had backlog and it was a bit overwhelming, so I set it to the easy setting first. Just kind of like, worked my way through, because there was an awful lot of stuff that I had to just go, oh, that's not relevant anymore. But
once I've cleared all through that, though, it'll be absolutely genius. And that my contacts bit as well in the back office is fantastic. The fact you've got everyone's address and name, and that's just the easiest tweak they could have made, but it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Sarah, one more thing I know that you do every single day without fail. It's part of your DMO, daily method of operation. What you do every single morning. I know you've told me what you do every single morning, and I thought, wow, only I could be that person, but I can't. But it works for you, doesn't it? In your Facebook group, we'll tell the girls what you do every single morning.
Yeah. So again, like I say, when it was locked down and I couldn't be doing treatments, I got into a habit of being consistent on my little VIP group, and I would give back. People just give them back a little bit of help. So I do tutorials. When I say tutorials, it's nothing major. Like, it's me maybe cleansing my face in the morning, spritzing my toner, just quickly talking through the products and why I'm using them. If you can always remember one ingredient, I always say that's best. When I did my very first live, I'd been with the company 2 days. I threw myself in at the deep end and I did a live straight away. And I had all my products with a post-it note below each one, with like one or two ingredients. So when I picked it up, it looked like I knew exactly what I was on about. And from day one, I was running with it, because clients would watch me and they'd be like, oh my God, she knows that company well. And my enthusiasm comes across. And I think as long as you're enthusiastic about a product, whether you know the ingredients or not, you can pretty much you know, promote it.
And that's a genius idea, actually, having a post-it note underneath it, because I haven't got, well, my perimenopausal brain is wrecking me even more, but I haven't got a very good memory for what's in things at all. Still, I mean, like 6 years later, and like the business I've got, but I still literally couldn't tell you everything in the cleanser even. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got a brain that remembers that stuff. I remember what everything does. And that's what I say to people. It's so important. The most important thing you know is you know what product does what and what product to recommend to people. But what's in absolutely everything, I can't remember that. So actually that post-it note trick that just makes you feel a bit more confident if you're going to talk about an individual product is really good. And you do that every morning, don't you? Without fail, you do a live every morning.
Yeah, I haven't done one this morning, to be fair. It wasn't a live, it's just a little video. I know. Because Lucas is off, it's kind of thrown me a little bit.
Fair enough. But you did a video.
I'm doing a live tonight instead.
I'm going to do a live tonight.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's what I mean about being consistent. Like, I'm not saying customers will watch every single one, but I always say to them, like, there's nearly 4 years worth of content in there. If you go to the search bar and type in a product, you'll be able to find something about a product. But yeah, and it's just dead simple things. Like, if it's World Sleep Day, for instance, next week, I will probably do a little video one morning or one evening about sleep therapy and the importance of sleep, you know, like just general stuff that we all know, why we should be sleeping better and the way that it helps us. Menopause, of course, will always be a huge subject and topic to talk about. And there's so much you can do. And again, just use that blog on the Tropic Facebook website, and that will absolutely give you everything you need to know, and just break it down.
Yeah. And do you always plan that? Do you plan a week's worth of content for your lives?
No, you know me, I like to just blag it.
So you go by the seat of your pants.
I wing it. I wing my life.
This is why we've made quite good friends.
Oh, I love winging things. Yeah, I'm very good at winging stuff. But yeah, if I wake up in the morning and I look outside and I think, oh, it looks a bit windy and wet out there, I'll think of something to talk about that's going to help the skin, like skin relief moisturizer or something. Or I like things that rhyme, so I'll think of like Thirsty Thursday, and I'll talk about rainforest dew and comfort food. Facelift Friday, and talk about the electric bloom mask and maybe a few massage moves. There's so much content that you could just create yourself. Just by talking about one product, 2 products, but you're giving value back to that customer, and I think that's what people like. But I do need to slow it down a bit on my customer group because I need to focus more on the other stuff. But yeah.
So you do mainly, because I have got massively out of the habit of because I'm just busy doing a lot of other stuff. I'm not doing my customer group as well as I used to. I mean, I used to be on it with that, 3 posts a day, and doing lives probably at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I've got erratic with it, probably because, well, I know why, because being a diamond, there's a lot of extra stuff being a diamond. But I would say because also I've got someone that helps me with some of my social media things as well. And I think maybe, have I got a bit lazy doing the things I'm supposed to be doing? I don't think I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy, just very busy. Anyway, the point I'm making is, with a live, you can just kind of go on and do it and get it done, and it's done. And it's actually much more effective than 3 posts that you scheduled or have taken you ages to schedule. Just a live is actually so much more effective, isn't it? Or a reel or something like that.
Yeah, and I always say to like girls in my team, that a video or a live is brilliant, but I always try and get them to do a live, because a video, unfortunately, we're all self-critical, and they all go back and they redo it, and then they redo it and redo it. And from day one, I thought to myself, you know what, even if that video looks shocking or sounds horrendous, I know what I was talking about, so I'll just post it anyway. And you're a real person. And if you're brand new to Tropic, just say to your customers, look, I don't know the ins and outs of everything about this brand, but I am learning, and I am super duper passionate about it. And the results I've seen for my skin just have blown me away. So that is why I'm doing Tropic. Bear with me, and you'll start to see, my knowledge kind of grow, type of thing. But if they have questions, go to someone else and ask them, fire the questions to you and you'll get the answers for them. But yeah, just be honest with them.
And never watch back a video. Never watch back a video.
Never. Never.
Never watch back. No, there was something else I was going to say. I forgot. Yeah, when you do your lives, do you always hashtag on them, or do you just write a description of what your live's about?
Just write a description. Hashtags for me, I am truly rubbish. And like I say, if I was Instagram worthy, I'd probably be a little bit more on it. But yeah, I have got to that stage though where I am going to have to literally, I am going to have to literally like work out what I need to focus my time on a little bit more, because I know that Tropic makes me more money and I love it so much. I'm feeling like facials and things like that for me now will have to just slow things down a little bit. But yeah, it's nice way to be, isn't it?
Balance. But the facials is where you're getting your Tropic money as well, isn't it?
So it all kind of works hand in hand. Absolutely. Exactly. But yeah, and like just think how many people you've got coming through your door every single day, whether you're a hairdresser, a nail technician, you do brows. I also think like if you're doing eyebrows and stuff, you're not making a huge amount of money from that treatment. I don't know how much people charge these days, probably a tenner or more. But think about products that could work alongside that, so you're getting more kind of yield. So like Tamanu Balm, for instance, they could pop straight on their brows and help to take down the redness. That's like a £16 product that they could be promoting to that client. Or
tattoo, I don't know, we've got tattoo artists on the team. Tattoo artists selling Tamanu Balm. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry.
No, because we've been on for nearly an hour now. Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, I'll let you go to Luke. I'll let you go to Lucas.
Thank you.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on. And
you're welcome.
Rockets, I hope you got some value from what Sarah said. I certainly picked up value when I'm handing out my facial vouchers. Why the heck am I not writing down their name and number and following that up with them? Do not. I'm going to go and kick myself a little bit later. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on, Sarah.
No worries at all.
Really appreciate
it.
Okay, take care.
Bye.